All right, I'm going to talk to you guys today about what I think is going to happen with Bitcoin. I'm going to take you into that chart. Very important. This commentary on Bitcoin right now, I believe it's a big picture view. I don't do a ton of Bitcoin or crypto videos because my opinion doesn't change very often. And when I feel I've got something important to say to you guys, that's when I come and say it. And so today I think I've got something important to say to you guys about Bitcoin. So this is going to be an important video. Make sure you watch it to the end. I want to comment on DraftKings. Okay, I let the Stocks with Josh Discord know that I was out of any position on DraftKings. I also let everybody know in yesterday's video that I was selling out of my options before earnings because, as I said in yesterday's video, I see the market being in a sell the rip mode, which means that if anything pops, does well, or has any problems, there's just a lot of profit taking, and that deep profit taking with some very tight stop losses is triggering some algorithmic flushes, which kind of representing opportunities. Wall Street gets pulled back in because it simply falls too far. And the overall macro is not bad. And so you get risk back on after these big, ugly flushes. We saw that happen with Eli Lilly today. We saw that happen with DraftKings today, looking at the fact that we are still in the shadow of a bearish engulfing weekly candle from the previous 2 weeks. Now we're going to see whether we break back to the upside or we continue this pullback and break to the downside. A lot to cover today. This is the Stocks with Josh show. I appreciate you guys hitting the like for me, dropping a comment, just saying hi. I know that a lot of people were able to do very, very well with this recent Apple pop. It paid to stick with Apple, but I'm going to call it as I see it. We're still in a sell the rip environment. So for me, this is a time to lock in any rip gain I get. I'm locking it in. So a lot of people are going to keep asking me, well, Josh, how are we doing on this position or how are we doing on that position? I'm probably going to be out of it. I'm going to be, this is all about being a sniper right now on Wall Street through the month of August, looking for those flush deal opportunities that I just talked about. Those are the ones I'm going to be jumping on because I think the overall macro is still good. And so if something gets overly punished, I'll jump back into those. In the Stocks with Josh Discord, 5 days a week, half an hour before the market opens, I provide A-plus scalp trade setups to take at market open or throughout the day. The main trigger is the cross of price on these. And this is my bread and butter way that I approach trading and making money every single day on Wall Street. I'm either trading those A-plus scalp trade setups or doing long-term investment. If you would like insight from me on those, then you can come and join me in the Stocks with Josh Discord. It's the name of the show, which is the name of the website, www.stockswithjosh.com. Come check it out. All right, let's talk about Bitcoin real quick. One final push for Bitcoin is all we're going to get. And I foresee that most retail traders who have been sort of ignoring their crypto portfolios for a while, they're down on a lot of them. They're going to get woken back up after we get one final push. And then a lot of them, because it's finally moving, and they're feeling more comfortable and more safe investing in Bitcoin, they're going to double their positions. But we're just going to get that one more push. I'm going to give you the target. And typically those pushes occur so quickly. They can occur within 2 weeks to 4 weeks. But essentially the entire move will be over in 1 month. And what's going to happen is it's going to draw a bunch of eyes and a bunch of attention from retail back into Bitcoin and back into crypto. Now, the alts will run a little bit longer than that month push. Bitcoin will largely run up for about 30 days. The alts will have a couple more weeks after, but typically that's when people are coming and showing up. And I'm going to just warn you right now that in the month of August is going to be the opportunity to position yourself before that one more leg up that Bitcoin gives us. And I can tell you that this is my opinion. It's not a suggestion for what you should buy, sell, or hold, but this is how I'm going to be trading crypto for the remainder of 2025 with the expectation that crypto is not going to climb all the way into the end of the year and continue. I believe in the 4-year cycle, that it's still intact. I believe that the 4-year cycle has changed and it's getting modified, but it's not broken. It's not in the rearview mirror. I believe we're still going to be affected by the cyclical nature of the halving events with Bitcoin. I think less of an effect. However, what I foresee ahead of us right now is one more big push. And I think that most retail is going to come tardy to the party after that push occurs, thinking that there's going to be a continuation of that push. There's not. It's going to be an extremely short window. And if you don't get positioned right now in altcoins and Bitcoin, and you come later to get positioned after that big push, you're going to miss the majority of the up move, and you're simply going to be the liquidity for people getting out of their positions. As I talked about at the beginning of this video, that we're in a sell the rip environment, and I'm forecasting the possibility in Bitcoin that there's going to be one more rip for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the alts, and that it's going to be a sell the rip moment. That last leg up is going to be where a lot of people are attracted to come into it, and they're going to start their buying when smart money and Stocks with Josh is selling and unloading their position. So it's all about taking a position in August for this 30-day window where things absolutely tear higher. I'm going to show you some important candles in the Bitcoin chart, and we're going to go over a couple other charts as well. All right, hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for being here today. Before I get into the Bitcoin chart, I want to talk about some of the facts about what's happening with Bitcoin. Now, these facts are going to be used against retail. They're going to be used to manipulate retail. These are important facts, but they still have to be interpreted correctly into a trade plan. Trade plan, focus of this coming Saturday's welcome to the Discord session. So historically, every 4-year cycles suggest that August usually brings strong rallies. In 2013, from bottom to top of move in August, it moved 30% to the upside. In 2017, there was a 65% pump higher in the month of August. And in 2021, there was a 13% pop in the month of August. So August is and can be an important month during the 4-year Bitcoin cycle for a move. Not every August, but this is one of those specific August months where a move could be expected. Another interesting fact right now in Bitcoin is that ETF inflows have been huge. 14.4 billion so far this year. This is smart money as well as retail getting positioned with the overall narrative of going risk on into crypto, specifically Bitcoin. And over 135 public companies are now holding Bitcoin as a treasury asset, showing how deep institutional adoption has ultimately become. And I think that both of those numbers are going to continue to grow. What we're going to see as we get wider adoption is less volatility. The mother of all squeezes is not coming to Bitcoin. There will be run-up moments after periods of sideways consolidation. Those are the ones that you want to be positioned for. And that's the type of situation that I'm trying to prepare listeners to today, is that we're in potentially a pre-30-day push that you're going to want to have your positions taken in, and you don't want to come tardy to that party. I want to give a reason about some of this bullishness. It's Trump is having an impact in crypto. He promised to be the most pro-crypto president. The Trump administration's pro-crypto agenda is catalyzing bull momentum. How is he doing that? Well, he signed an executive order allowing crypto into 401k retirement plans. This is going to introduce Bitcoin to a $43 trillion pool of investment money. And so you can obviously see what a huge impact this could have. This could be the crypto summer that a lot of people have been calling for. It's finally showing up. I just think it's going to be less days than most imagine it will be. All right, let's go look at the Bitcoin chart because I want to show you what I think is important right now and why I think there could be one more leg higher. It's similar to some analysis I've given you in the past, with a little bit more of a focus on the month of August. Let's go look at that chart together. Okay, now you guys have seen the Bitcoin Historic Index monthly chart that I've shown before, and each of these little boxes is a Fibonacci-based support and resistance over the previous 4 cycles. I've always made the point this cycle back here with the halving back in 2001 had obviously the highest and strongest push up. The following cycle faded significantly from a push up of 60K to only a 12,000% push, which is amazing, but still significantly less than 60. And then the 2021 push gave us a 2K momentum percentage point higher, and we have been around a 600% momentum push higher from the previous cycle. Significantly less than half of the momentum of 2021. So even though we're getting more institutional adoption, we're clearly seeing a lower percentage move. That's normal. That's called maturity of an asset. And even though more people are coming to participate, it actually provides more price stabilization and less of a potential move higher. People that tell you otherwise are really looking at this type of momentum when there were very few traders and not considering how that changes when an asset becomes more mature. Now, the other thing I want to point out is that whenever we have opened and closed a candle above one of these fib lines, specifically the red one, we have always gone on to the next fib level, okay? And we have clearly opened and closed candles above this current fib line of Bitcoin at around 68,900. We have many candles consolidated here, building higher, and ultimately I've said the target could be a push all the way up to this 174 level, which is the next fib level, which may seem hyper bullish, but there has no precedence for this target not getting hit in the history of Bitcoin. If that happened, it would be the first failure of its kind. As you go back and look at the history of these charts, every single time a fib level was breached and we opened and closed a candle above it, it hit the next fib level above. And that has been a very consistent pattern. And it's just part of basic charting analysis. Every single time we have breached and opened and closed a candle, we've hit the next fib level above. 2021, it was the same thing. We got above the previous all-time high, and we actually came up and we hit this next fib level. We actually pulled back, hit it again. We never opened and closed a candle above, thus we didn't go up to the next level above that. We pulled back, and yet here we are in the middle of this fib level with a lot of candles open and closed. And it seems like a pretty realistic goal that we would get up to the next fib level, which is 174. Now, of course, nobody knows, and price action can do whatever it wants, but that is the precedent that we're looking at. Now, the very next thing I want to point out to you is how does Bitcoin act in the month of August? And to do that, we're going to go to the last cycle, right before the last leg up. And right here was the month of July, and that was a bottoming month, right? That was the first turnaround green candle to get in for the final push up to hit the fib level, which after that, we went into the winter descent, going back from roughly 60,000 all the way down to 16,000. So I'm suggesting that in this moment that we're in between August and September, we are going to be getting positioned for one of these months, and it could be August, it could be October, is going to be the month, and it's going to be a very short 2 to 3 week window where we push up to this 174, hit the top, and then we go into winter, bringing us back to what I would consider as our future winter low between 68 and 49. Now, I know that's a lot to follow, but here's the simple message. It does look to me, based on how the chart's holding up and how price action is positioned, it does look to me like we're going to get one more leg up opportunity. The purpose of this video is to stress that it will be a sell the rip environment. Most retail people will come tardy to that party because they're not paying attention to getting positioned before that leg up, and they'll position themselves as the exit liquidity after that 2 week, 3 week rip higher moment. They'll be buying when Wall Street will be doing some early profit taking and exiting the position as we descend into winter in 2026. Now, I know that that goes against some of the popular narratives out there that the 4-year cycle is broken, that we might be in a super cycle. And I would suggest to you that those things are possible. How could we possibly know if we're in some form of a super cycle? It would be on what type of price levels we maintain. I would suggest to you that we are not in a super cycle if at any point in the remainder of 2025 we lose the $100,000 level, which is a level that we took a long time to get to and a long time to consolidate beneath. And once we got above it, it does open up the opportunity for some of these big numbers that I've been talking to you about in this video. All the way up to 174 is a huge number. But if we get back beneath it, it means to me that we are not in a super cycle and that things have not changed. We're seeing a classic breakdown after a huge parabolic move from originally in the winter, that low of 16,000 that ultimately will have 10x'd if we hit that next fib level. We'll have 10x'd that $16,000 Bitcoin low and be hitting up above 160,000. That's amazing. Definitely a risk worth taking, definitely an asset that should be part of everybody's portfolio. I'm glad that Trump has allowed 401ks to take position in Bitcoin, and it could change the game, and that's why we've got to continue to follow the charts. At the moment, the charts are telling me that we're getting ready for the next leg higher. I don't see the breakdown coming. Now, that doesn't mean we won't have some dip here in the month of August. What it means is any form of a dip here in the month of August could be a great opportunity for this last leg up that the charts seem to be talking to me about. Let me know if you see anything differently. It's a conversation. I'd love to hear from you. Hit that like and subscribe, and don't sleep on the Stocks with Josh Discord. Tomorrow I'm going to be live trading again. We're going to be using the A+ scalp trade setups to make some money. This last live trade session, we got some fabulous wins in there. One SPY move that ran up to around 65%. We're going to be looking for some positive action in the market tomorrow morning. Come and join me. And then this Saturday, I'm going to be talking to a lot of people that are trying to figure out their trade plan. I'm going to be talking to them about a small account trade plan. That's going to be the game plan. Peace and blessings, my friends. I'll see you in the next video.